Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
After hitting 90 degrees for the first time this year, some big changes are headed our way. We've still got steamy conditions outside, though, but cooler weather is in the forecast.
Brett, you were also tracking some overnight showers, too.
Yeah, you saw them there and lighting up pretty good back out to the west. There's lightning, there's thunder. There's even some gusty winds as well. In the meantime, the next few hours at least are going to be quiet, kind of steamy, and a little bit breezy at times as well. 70s and 80s at the moment, but it's these storms back out to the west that really have our attention at the hour. Earlier this evening, a couple of small showers and thunderstorms moved through the Saginaw area, now up towards Bad Axe, but you can see back out to the west, there's more activity, even more down in parts of Illinois. All this with a cold front that's coming through that, will bring us some cooler temperatures. But the first thing is the chance for showers, maybe a few thunderstorms. As we wake up, there will be a couple out there, and I think the best chances will be in the north and the west zones in the morning. Late morning, early afternoon, anything that does develop, few and far between. Following that, there's more rain and some cooler temperatures just in time for the weekend. We'll dive into it. More coming up in just a bit.
Okay, Brett, thank you. He was the chief operating officer of the Macomb County Prosecutor's Office under embattled former prosecutor Eric Smith. And tonight he's reached a plea deal, which includes testifying against his former boss. Mara McDonald is live in Mount Clemens tonight. Mara, does the plea deal specify to what he's now willing to testify?
Kimberly, it sure does, and we took a look at that documentation about this Derek Miller plea deal, and here's essentially in a nutshell what it says: that he's willing to testify that he obscured hundreds of thousands of dollars in drug asset forfeiture monies so that other entities, like say the Macomb County Treasurer, couldn't get a look at them, couldn't get a look at those books. These are monies that his former boss is accused of using as a personal slush fund. Derek Miller was Eric Smith's right hand at the Macomb County Prosecutor's Office, and now the deal he's cut means that Miller will testify about the plot to conceal all those hundreds of thousands of dollars in drug forfeiture monies that Eric Smith is alleged to have used as his private slush accounts instead of for the public good, which is what that money is by law to be used for. What it went for, according to the AG, Dana Nessel: flowers and makeup for secretaries, a security system for his home, parties at country clubs, and the list goes on. In return, Miller is getting a break. He'll plead to a misdemeanor instead of the 2 felonies he was facing and will have no jail time. His former boss has already pleaded guilty to obstruction of justice in a federal case against him for misusing his campaign accounts, but he's still facing embezzlement charges from the state AG. Back here alive, Miller, a judge has to sign off on Miller's plea deal. It's going to be interesting to see whether Smith actually goes to trial in this or whether he reaches a plea deal with the AG's office as well. Miller would not be sentenced until after that case had concluded. We are live in Mount Clemens tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Mara, thank you. A neighborhood crime alert tonight in Grosse Pointe Farms.
Yeah, police now asking for help to find those responsible for targeting cars in that area. Pamela Osborne live in Grosse Pointe Farms tonight with what specifically they've been stealing, Pam.
Yeah, so thieves have been breaking their way into Chevy Malibus and Impalas, and once they get inside, they're ripping out those cars' steering columns and steering wheels.
Take a look at these pictures. Grosse Pointe Farms police have come across several vehicles with damage just like this. They also say those types of cars aren't the only ones thieves are after. Other vehicles had items reported stolen as well. This map is where those break-ins happened. It's in the area of Kirby and Fisher and Chalfont and Charlevoix.
And Grosse Pointe Farms police asking anyone with home surveillance cameras that may have captured something to come forward and pass along anything that may help them in their investigation. Meanwhile, the people that we spoke to, the residents who live out here who have a garage, say they're parking in those tonight. Reporting live at Grosse Pointe Farms, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
Okay, Pamela, thank you. A family left brokenhearted tonight after one of the 2 teens hurt in a hit-and-run crash on Belle Isle dies from her injuries. State police say a 12-year-old died today at the hospital. A 14-year-old is expected to be okay. The crash happened yesterday when a 23-year-old man from Ypsilanti allegedly drove onto the beach, hit those two girls, then took off. Officers arrested the driver this morning and recovered the car believed to be involved in that crash. Right now, police are still interviewing the suspect. A massive search kicking off today in Macomb County for the remains of East Point teenager Zion Foster.
Drone 4 over the Pine Tree Acres landfill. That's in Lenox Township, where phase 1 of Operation Justice for Zion has begun. Crews have zeroed in on a 100 by 100 foot area. They plan to first clean above that area to install a road, then build a search deck. 17-year-old Zion was last seen in January. Her cousin eventually told police he threw her body in a dumpster when he found her unconscious.
Our lives are forever changed, but looking for her and finding her will not give closure, but it will help get justice for Zion. She deserves no less. She doesn't deserve to be where you're looking.
And that search could take up to 7 to even 8 weeks. It's been 1 week since the deadly school shooting in Uvalde, Texas.
And tonight, police are sharing new information on the shooting. We now know Uvalde police and the school district no longer cooperating with the state's Department of Public Safety's investigation into the shooting that killed 21 people, most of them children. Also tonight, Texas police are now saying the teacher who propped open the door that the gunman allegedly used to get inside the school closed that door before the attack, but the door didn't latch. Meanwhile, the police chief of Uvalde schools will not be sworn in as a new member of city council.
In Washington, members of Congress working to find common ground on gun safety legislation. Today, a group of senators from both parties met to discuss red flag laws, changes to background checks, investments in mental health, and school security.
Progress that is going to save lives right now, and I believe that we can get that done.
We'll get back at it next week and hope to have some results.
The same set of senators are expected to hold talks again tomorrow. President Biden has said he's willing to meet with the lawmakers to help with any negotiations.
It was an eventful start to this year's Mackinac Policy Conference.
Sure was. Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan making headlines for allegedly outing a federal informant. Devin continues our coverage from Mackinac on how the mayor responded to those claims.
Well, I always say there are two different agendas at every Mackinac Island policy conference. There's the one that's designed by the Detroit Regional Chamber, and then there's the one that happens organically on its own. And that bore out earlier today as Mayor Duggan felt forced to respond to allegations from the Detroit News that he had exposed the identity of an informant in an FBI corruption case. The opening of the policy conference involved an unscheduled detour for Mayor Duggan.
All right. Well, good afternoon. Wasn't planning to start the Mackinac Conference with this presentation.
The mayor pushed back on the report. He doesn't deny talking about the source, but says he had no idea it was a secret. You are a former prosecutor. You do understand the sensitivity around this and that it's kind of a big deal.
I understand it very well. I also understand that when you don't know somebody is a confidential source, you can't be criticized for disclosing them. And nobody ever called and said, we're working with this guy, don't talk. But I did the right thing.
As for other issues,
sheer and utter incompetence.
With a GOP gubernatorial debate set for Thursday, there is plenty of talk about the candidates who are not here, those whose signatures were deemed fraudulent. Political veterans remain stunned by the breadth of the collapse.
This is historically unprecedented to see this many people bounced off the ballot, and don't blame it on anybody else but your own campaign.
Appeals have been filed, but Zuba thinks to little effect.
The other Republicans, they got their signatures. These other campaigns did not. There was no plot against them. It was pure incompetence on their campaign's part.
You don't see their legal challenges having any chance?
I don't know how. Yeah. I just don't know how.
All right, so the policy conference gets underway in earnest tomorrow, a very full day here, including remarks from the U.S. Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg. I'll be interviewing him here at the theater of the Grand Hotel, and we'll have more on that tomorrow from Mackinac Island. I'm Devin Skillion, Local 4.